welcome to Friday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. Well, I suppose it's the second edition actually, because there was a crossword video for those of you who enjoy such things. That appeared earlier on today, but this is the normal 8:30 video, providing my internet works. We had a few problems yesterday. Apologies that the 8:30 video appeared at 9 o'clock due to internet outage in the Anthony household. Anyway. That's all by the by. What are we doing today? We're having a look at a puzzle called Number 9, Number 9, Number 9 by Olli Wright. I think this is a debut for Olli Wright in terms of my videos. Anyway, I think Mark's done an Olli Wright puzzle themed, if I remember rightly, on the rabbit in Monty Python and the Holy Grail, I think. Anyway, look at this. A completely blank grid. Apparently this is themed on the Beatles album, the White Album. And just nines outside the grid. And nines either being little killer clues. I'll explain what all these terms mean in a moment. Or sandwich Sudoku clues, which is rather cute. Very clever to create a Sudoku with a blank grid and only using a single digit for the outside clues. That really is something special. As indeed was the White Album. Just trying to think what's my favourite song on it. Probably While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Anyway, I don't know if I'll have a chance to record a version of that introduction before this video goes live. But anyway, this is what we're trying today. It's got 2 stars out of 5 for difficulty. It has a wealth of really, really great comments on Logic Masters. And the other reason we're looking at it is I had an email from Dorlier, the maths professor, saying that this is a real gem of a puzzle, and you can see that echoed in the comments, or some of the comments at least I've snipped from the Logic Masters page. So what a masterpiece, says Egubachu, who I think I did a puzzle by just the other day. Now, the other reason it might be nice to do a slightly easier puzzle than sometimes today is because I have great news if you are interested in our Approachable Sudoku app, because it's out. It's been released. It's out on Steam, Android and the App Store. And the way to get it, some of you have been asking this question. No, the Times Crossword Snitch is not what we're after. Here it is on Steam. And what you have to do is you download the sort of base app, which is just called Cracking the Cryptic. That's totally free to download. And then within that app, you can purchase the extra packs. And this is the brand new extra pack. It's called Approachable Sudoku. And, well, we think you'll very much enjoy it. It has the idea is that the puzzles therein sort of will teach you how to get better at variant Sudoku, introduce some of the variants that you might not have seen before in a slightly more gentle way than some of the puzzles we attempt on the channel. So I think the extra pack of puzzles, which has loads of puzzles in it, is only a couple of pounds or so. So do check it out. Let us know what you think, and we really, really hope you enjoy it. Other news, what else? Over on Patreon, Mark has released a new crossword video. We've of course got our monthly competition running, which is Skojo, Jojo and Jobo's Sudoku Hunt. You've still got many days, well, not many days, you've still got 4 days left to send in a solution and be in with a chance of winning that competition. And I also have some other, well, birthday and other announcements to make. I'm going to start by saying congratulations to Dan Arnold, who finished his novel last night after 2.5 years of work and 15 years of previous failed attempts. So Dan, that is absolutely fantastic news. I think Dan's 26 years old and claimed that our videos have helped exercise the left brain part of his mind, while the right brain part was being overworked by writing. Well, yeah, Dan, I hope it goes really well. I hope it's incredibly well received. Let us know. Next, Trishant. Trishant, it was your birthday yesterday, but I only got the message about this. I know you turned 22. I got it very late. Addy and the gang wrote in, and I think Addy and the gang will admit that the message was received by me quite late. But I was intrigued to hear that you make tremendous shiratsu tacos as hangover food. Now, shiratsu tacos, they do sound very, very nice. Maybe not quite as nice as chocolate cake, but pretty nice. Anyway, I don't know if you're having those today for your birthday. Probably not. Somebody should be making you food for your birthday. But Trishan, I hope you have an absolute... Well, I hope you had a great day yesterday. Sorry, it was your birthday yesterday. And I'm a bit late. Next, Bree. Bree, I'm shouting. You're over in West Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. And your boyfriend Zach wrote to us and told us that you watch so often and you'd appreciate a shout out. So Bree, thank you so much for watching as often as you do. I'm not sure if this is your birthday or not, or whether or not it's your birthday. It's a good day for cake. And then finally, and this birthday's for tomorrow, so I'm all over the place today. Annabelle, it's your birthday tomorrow down there in Somerset. I presume that's Somerset, England, but I could be wrong. I know this because your sister Rachel wrote to us and told us that you were having a badminton and burrata party. Yeah, that's an unusual combination, hopefully with some chocolate cake at the end. Anyway, Annabelle, I hope it's a great day tomorrow. I believe the weather is meant to be good. And with that said and done, let's have a look at number 9. By Olli Wright. These are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. So we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Little killers. Numbers with an arrow give the sum of the digits along the indicated diagonal. So those 4 digits there, let's highlight them for a moment, have to sum up to 9. That's how little killer. I haven't done a puzzle with little killer clues for ages and ages. They used to be sort of ubiquitous, didn't they? Sandwich sums. Numbers without an arrow, okay, so there are loads of those, give the sum of the digits between the 1 and 9 in that column or row. I haven't actually done Sandwich Sudoku for ages either. That was our very first app. So what that means is, let's look at this row. Let's say that there was a 1 here. Well, actually, let's do it the other way round because this sometimes confuses people. So we have to firstly locate the 9 and the 1 in this row. So I'm going to put them into those positions. Now, if we did discover that these were the 9 and the 1, or the 1 and the 9, you look at the sandwich in between, and you know that these 3 digits here have to sum up to the digit outside, the clue outside the grid. So these 3 digits would have to add up to 9, and in fact they would have to be a 2, 3, 4 triple because they couldn't include the 1. So it's just the sandwich total you're given. And that's how Sandwich Sudoku works, and that's all the rules. So do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. And this is a rarity indeed, because I'm immediately getting 2 digits here. They're just pointing to 9s. So... no, that doesn't work. I was going to avail myself of the Sudoku secret immediately, but I don't think it's going to be helpful. I will tell you the secret. I tell the secret to all my favourite people, and if you're watching this video, you're definitely one of my favourite people. The secret of Sudoku is the sum of all the digits in a Sudoku box, in a Sudoku row, in a Sudoku column, and that is always the same in the 9x9 Sudoku. It's always 45. So I know that this box adds to 45 because that is the sum of the digits 1 to 9. But look, if we look at this box carefully, we know those 3 digits sum to 9, these 2 digits sum to 9, and this is itself a 9. So that little triangle of digits there, that sums to 27. Which means this little congregation of digits, the blue digits, sums to 45 minus 27, which is 18. Now, it's almost necessary for there to be an 8 in there, but not quite, because we could make those 3 blue cells 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so that's unfortunately probably not where we look next. Oh, well, hang on, there's a massive 9 diagonal. That's going to be tricky, isn't it? Yes. Okay, look at this diagonal. There are in fact 7 digits on this diagonal, but the total sum of all the digits on the diagonal is only 9. So I think we can see how that must look. That's going to have to be 3 1s into these positions and 1 2 pairs. So there's going to be 5 1s along this diagonal and 2 2s. So does that put pressure on? Yes. So this diagonal now has pressure on it because this digit is at least a 3 this digit is at least a 3 because these two cells see 1, 2 pairs. And these cells can't add up to less than 3, even if they were a 1, 2 pair. So they must be a 1, 2 pair, and that's double 3. And so far, so good. We've now got ones and 2 pair, 1, 2 pairs in a variety of places. So if this was a 1, I'm just wondering about, no, actually, oh, no, for some reason my brain was misleading me. I thought I could do something with this 9 sandwich and this 9 sandwich, but they're actually not overlapping in the way I thought they were. I feel like somewhere we're going to have, if this was a 1, the 9 would have to be at least here in the column. Yeah, so there is a 2, 3, 4 triple, either here or here, which is a very strange thing. Does that mean that's always a 3? Okay, I'm not sure if this is what I'm meant to do next, but let me explain what I'm noticing. I'm noticing that one of these two digits is a 1. I don't know which one. Let's just say it's this one. Now, in this column, there is a sandwich clue. But look, if this had been a 1, in this row, there's the same sandwich clue, because all the sandwich clues are 9. Now, how would we make 9 work as a sandwich clue in this column or this row if this was a 1? Well, we can't put the 9 here, because if we were to do that, this would have to equal 9, and that would put 2 9s in the column. So it's not there. It clearly can't be here, but it can't be further away than this, because this is a 3-cell sandwich. Imagine we put the 9 there. That would be a 4-cell sandwich, not including a 1, to add up to 9. Well, the minimum these digits could be would be 2, 3, 4, and 5, and they would add to 14, and that's far too many. So, either this is a 9, or this is a 9. And in each case, that is going to create either a 3-cell sandwich here, summing to 9 without using 1, or a 3-cell sandwich here, summing to 9 without using 1. And therefore, that either this is the sandwich or this is the sandwich. It will be a 2, 3, 4 triple, because it can't use a 1 in each case. And the 3, you've got these two 3s looking at these cells. So the 3 in that 2, 3, 4 triple is always there. Okay, so that means there's a 3 down there and a 3 over there. That's really quite interesting. But okay. All right. So now I'm going to move further afield actually. So I was just looking at this intersection of sandwich clues. But look at this intersection of sandwich clues, because that's interesting as well. Now, we know where the 1 is in the orange row and column. It's exactly there. So where is the 9 in this column and this row? And the answer, I think, in both cases is those two cells, because this time we clearly can't put the 9 here or here, because these squares would also have to be 9. So we need at least a 2-cell sandwich. So we're at least going to these two positions. But if we tried to put the 9 in either of those squares, again, these is a 3-cell sandwich. It would have to be 2, 3, 4. And in both cases, there's a 3 looking down the row or down the column, preventing that from happening. So actually, we get 9s in these two squares. These cells, or these dominoes now, each add to 9 without being 3, 6 or 1, 8. So they're 2, 4 or 5, 7. These squares are the other digits. 3, 6, 8 and 9. And okay, now, oh wow, okay, so now, oh, I've got a 9 sandwich clue here now, but that actually doesn't look very good, does it? Because I don't think that's under any pressure at all. I'm actually just going to highlight it though, so I know it's a sandwich that I've got to keep track of. There's another one there. Let's give that a little colour so that we know that we've got another point of reference to think about. Both of these though, they're not under any pressure. The 1-8 sandwich is ruled out. But in both cases, you could have what looks to me like you could have 2, 7, 3, 6, or 4, 5. So it's something else. And the only other asymmetrical clue we have that doesn't involve is the middle row. So yeah, I see. Right. So this is the crucial cell, I think. This one. That can't be a 1. And that is rather pretty, actually. Let's think about how this could be a 1. We've then got the task of placing 9 in this row somewhere, and clearly it can't be too close to the 1 on this side, so then the 9's going to have to be over here. Now where could it be? It's not able to be here by Sudoku. It can't be here because that would be too much of a thingy thing, too much of a gap. It would be too large a sandwich. It would be an unpleasantly large sandwich. Oh, I had a Philly cheesesteak when I was in Philadelphia. Now that was a very strange thing, let me tell you. It was sort of chopped up steak with melted cheese and sort of mixed together. It was quite nice. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Yeah. So that would mean the only position the 9 could be in this row would be here for a 2-cell sandwich. But whether this is whatever this is, the partner digits with it that add up to 9 are all in these positions. So this square, it cannot possibly make a 9 domino in those 2 squares. So I don't think that this can be a 1. So I think that's a 2. That's a 1. That's a 1. That's a 2. That's a 1. That's a 2. There's a 2 up there by Sudoku. There's a 2 down here by Sudoku. This isn't a 2, so that's not a 7. This isn't a 2, so that's not a 7. There's a lot of symmetry here. Oh, I see. Okay, so perhaps we now do think about where the 1 is in this row. So the 1 is over here. So the 9 has to be surely in one of these 2 positions. It can't be this far away. So the 9 is in one of those 2 positions. Now I get a 9 for free in this square. Ah. Oh, I see. And the corollary of everything that we've done here is that then in my green lines, once this became a 2 and this became a 1, we effectively knew where the 2, 3, 4 triple had to be. It's here, isn't it? That's lovely, because that's disambiguated this as well. This can't be a 4-5 pair, so that's got to be a 2-7 pair. So now there's a 2 down there. This is very clever. Very clever. Now I've got a 4-5 pair. I've got a 2... no. Okay, here's something totally different. Look at 2 in row 7. And think about where it is. It's over here. But we said before, didn't we, that those 3 digits added up to 18. So I can't put 2 in them, because the other 2 digits would add up to 16, and the only way of making 2 different Sudoku numbers add up to 16 is with 7 and 9, and the 9 has been hypothecated already to somewhere else. So there's a 2 here. So there's a 2 here by Sudoku. Oh, here we go. I've got loads of 2s in the grid. I've got 7, 2. Oh, okay. So I've got 7 of the 2s. That might be important. I've got to try and keep track, actually, of which... Right. That I think I know what's in the sandwich in row 5, which is a strange thing to know at this point. Oh, all right, but here is a totally different question. No. There's so much going on here. I'm not sure whether I'm meant to do Sudoku or whether I'm meant to... Look at this row. Where am I putting the 9 in this row? Well, it can't go here, so it's on the right-hand side of the 1. We know it can't actually be here, can it? Well, it can't be there by Sudoku. Oh, in fact, look, it's in one of those 2 squares. But it's got to be here, because we need at least a 2-cell sandwich, and we can't have a 3-cell sandwich, so it's got to be there. Can't have a 3-cell sandwich for many reasons. 1, you can't put 9 there. B, that can't be a 2, 3, 4 triple. So this is a 4, 5 pair. And that, oh, I see. And the yellow is a 4, 5 pair. Remember, we marked this as having to be a sandwich. That seems a very reasonable thing to note now. So this, right, that's not 9. This is 4, 5. Let's see. What can we do with that? We've got... How do we do this then? How do we finish this off, if indeed we're at that point? What about this? I don't know, actually. I think... Yeah, I think there's quite a lot of flexibility. This is either a 3, 6 pair, which would have to be in that order, or it's a 4, 5 pair, which would have to be in that order. So that's not the next step. Maybe I am. I mean, I've noticed something about this triple here. Oh, actually, let me come back here. These 2 digits add up to 7. So they're either 1, 6 or 3, 4. Okay, so this is either 1, 6 in that direction or 4, 3 in that direction. That doesn't work. Okay. Okay, all right, that isn't how to do it. Right, I am going to talk about this row then, because we can see that the 9's here somewhere, the 1's over here somewhere. What's the gap between the 9 and the 1 in this row? Well, it can't be a 3-cell gap, because that requires a 2, 3, 4 triple, and the 2 is definitely not in the sandwich. So it's a 2-cell gap. Now, what's going to fill that sandwich? Wherever the 2-cell gap is, what fills it? 2 digits that add up to 9, obviously, that are not 1, 8, that would repeat the 1 in the row, that are not 2, 7, and that are not 4, 5. So somewhere in these... Well, somewhere in those squares is a 3, 6 pair. And the rather interesting thing about that, now I think about it, is that sandwich, whether it's here or here, always includes this square. So that is a 3 or a 6. Now I'm going to get this digit by mathematics, because in this column I haven't put 7 and 8 in. So they go there, and those added up to 18. So that's, oh, this is, look at this. This is so clever. This digit is going to do magic, because this being a 7, 8 by Sudoku in the column, by maths gives me a 3 here to make my 18 for blue. That gives me a 6 here, which gives me a 3 here, which gives me a 4 here, which gives me, hang on, what did I take out there? So that gives me a 4, that gives me a 5. Okay, well, I've got 2 and 6 on this diagonal, so that's a 1. That's a 1. That's positioning my sandwich in this row now, because we know it's a 2-cell sandwich. So that's a 6. That's the 9. This is lovely. It's absolutely lovely. There's all sorts of things going on now. Where is... Oh, this is a 4-5 pair. Because that has to be a pair that add up to 9. That's a 3 by Sudoku, apparently. So we've got 6, 7, 8. The 6 is definitely in that domino. This is 7 or 8. And... ah, right. Have a look at this congregation of digits. So what I can see from is that these 2 cells here, they're the same digit, aren't they? 4 or 5, because this is a sandwich adding to 9, and this is a sandwich adding to 9, and this is common to both sandwiches. So these digits must be the partner of this one. Say this was a 4, this is double 5, obviously. Now, where does the A digit then? The A digit goes in one of those 2 squares by Sudoku. Well, it doesn't go there, because that sees both 4 and 5. So the A digit goes there, and that sees 4. So the A digit is 5, which means that's 5, and that's 4. So 4, hang on. So that's 4 by Sudoku. So there's a 4 in one of these by Sudoku. This is a 6, 7, 8 triple. I am prepared to pencil mark it. Okie dokie, what should we do now? How many of the clues have I actually used? Have I used all of them? I feel like I've used a lot of them. I'm not sure, but I do feel like I've used a lot of them. That might be foolish, but 5 now is in one of those squares, which means 5 is in one of these squares. It would be nice to do some more disambiguations, wouldn't it? So how are we going to do that? I mean, it could be, it's a terrifying prospect. It could be Sudoku. There's a 6 in one of these, there's a 6 in one of those. It doesn't seem to be resolved. These digits are 3, 6, and 8. That's a naked single 8 then. And this is a 3, 6 pair. Which means 6 has to go there by Sudoku. So that's not a 6. This is an 8 by Sudoku in the box, isn't it? So that's a 5. So that's a 5. That's a 4. That's a 7. That's an 8. Okay, we're starting to cook with gas. What's that done? Maybe nothing. We've got... What do we need at the bottom of this column? We can't have 6 there, I'm noticing. So it's 3 and... Oh, I see, it's 9 in the column. We can just place it. So that's 9 and that's 3. So now 3 is in this domino. I'm noticing this 1 is allowing me to place a 1 here. But I don't... Oh, let's check. I've done all the 1s, in fact. I've still got this X-wing of 2s left. Let's double-click some 3s and see if we can see anything good with 3s. No. No, we're still left with, I think, an X-wing here. So it's not 3s at this juncture. 4s feel like they're almost resolved, but... Yeah, I feel like I've got loads of 6, 7s and 8s everywhere. Is that wrong or is that right? Where's 6 in column 4? It's up here. Oh, I was thinking, have I done the sandwich? But I've already done the sandwich in that column, so that's not the immediate next step anyway. All right, let's try these digits. They're 5 and 8. Let's actually just label them up. So these squares are 4 and 7. And that's probably helpful, he says, trying desperately hard to see why. Oh, there's an 8 here, so that's a 7. That's going to be helpful. So that's 7, that's 4, that's 4, that's 5, that's 5, that's 8. That's done a few little things, hasn't it? 5 is placed in row 8, which means I get the 3, the 6, and the 6. All of those things seem to be true. I get 4. Oh, 4 in this column is placed now. It's got to be at the top. That's an 8 in this column, so that's an 8 and that's a 7. We haven't put 2, 4 and 7 into this box. So we get a 2, 7 pair at the bottom of this column and a 6, 8 pair at the top. And we've got an 8 here, so that's 8 and that's 6. And we need to put 7 and 9, which we can now do. And that gives me this 6 and this 7. Aha! We haven't put 7 and 8. Yeah, we can. 8, 7, 7, 2. No 3 in the corner there. Oh no, we're not going to get 3 in the corner. But I think we have nearly finished the puzzle. We need 6 and 8. So that's 6 and that's 8. That's beautiful, isn't it? That is absolutely beautiful. Good grief. Oh, 590 people have saw. Oh, it's quite old. I didn't realise that. Yeah, so it's been around for several months. And it's ratcheted up a lot of solves, and well, I'm sure those 590 people or so will have had the time of their lives with it, as I did. That is a really, really nice puzzle. The fact you can do that with only 9 clues is really strange, and it's something of a discovery, I would say, Olli Wright. I really liked the fact that you could. I actually really like the fact that I could deduce this wasn't a 1 because I couldn't make a valid pair there. And then I really liked that I couldn't put the 2 in here. And then I really liked whatever it was that happened in this column. Yeah, that was a 3, 6 pair. That was beautiful because it gave me this and that gave me this and that went all over the place. It's a lovely puzzle. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.